All right, 803. This is a real quick rundown of the practice test for the Unit 2 exam this Thursday and Friday. First 9 questions we're going to go through really quick. They're just a matter of knowing the rules, and we'll spend a little more time on 11 through 30. First of all, I'm asked to select the property which is demonstrated by 3 plus negative 3. Anything added to its opposite is the inverse property, or C. Question 2. Select the property that is demonstrated by 3 plus 0 equals 3. Anything added to 0 is the identity property. Answer A. Question number 3. Select the property that is demonstrated by 3 plus 7 equals 7 plus 3. I'm just reversing the order. They equal the same thing, and it is the commutative property. Think of commuting or getting to and from school every day, moving things around without changing the value. Question 4. Which property of multiplication shows that these numbers are all just lined up together? The difference is the parentheses are here and then here. When you move the parentheses around, it's no longer the commutative property, it becomes the associative property, and it's just because of those parentheses moving. Question 5. Which property does the equation 24 times 70 plus 30, or 24 times 70 and 20 times 5? Just think of distributing. It is the distributive property, or answer C. Which property is illustrated by 1/3 over 3 over 3 equals 3 over 6? You have to recognize that 3 over 3 equals 1. So anything multiplied by 1 is simply the multiplicative identity. Anything multiplied by 1 is itself, or answer D. Last one on this page. Which is the solution to the inequality? And when you see an inequality, think of it as if there were an equal sign there. X minus 5 greater than 14. Simply add 5 to both sides, and you get X is greater than 19. And your answer is B. X greater than 19. Okay, let's turn the page, and we're now on to finding the value that will make something true. In this case, remember, this was A, this was B, this was C, this was D, and this was E. So I am going to, like in the last problem, X plus 3.5 is greater than or equal to 9. Subtract 3.5 from both sides, and you get X is greater than or equal to 5.5. And the correct answer is B. Next question. Mel spent $12.50 buying apples, which cost $2.50 per pound. So obviously we're going to multiply the price times the amount that she bought to get the total cost. In this one, you had to change answer D here to be a multiplication sign. So it's simply the price times the cost equals the amount. The correct answer was C. For number 10, we had to multiply 4 times n equals 762. If you divide 672 by 4, the correct answer is B, 168. You can use your calculators for those. Question 11. Solve each of the unknowns. 750 plus y equals 805. I'm going to subtract 750 from each side. Subtract 750. 5 minus 0 is 5. I'm going to borrow 1 here, so I have 10 from 5 is also 5. I borrowed 1 here, and so my correct answer is C, or 55. Question 12. Which value for R makes this number statement true? In this case, this is R divided by 14 equals 32. To move the 14 to the other side, I multiply both sides by 14 so that my 14s cancel. 32 times 14 is 448. The correct answer is D. For 13, which value of m makes the number statement true? So this is 72 times n equals 1,728. I'm going to divide both sides by 72. N becomes 24. And again, use your calculator for these, for the right answer. 14, which is represented by 8 times n equals 128. In this case, I'm going to divide both sides by 8. Use my calculator. N is going to equal 16. The correct answer is C. Number 15. Which value makes the following equation true? So in all of these, it's using different words, but I'm just saying k divided by 3 equals 36. So in order to get rid of the 3 on this side, I multiplied both sides by 3 over 1. My 3's cancel here. When I multiply 36 by 3 over 1, I get 108, or the correct answer is A. Moving on to question number 16. Let's see if I have these written down. I certainly do. Question 16. If x minus 3 equals 6, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. My 3's cancel, and I'm left with x equals 9. The correct answer is D. Number 17. R times 8 over R equals 96 times R. So I'm basically just taking my R and moving it over to the other side. So move my R to the other side. Now I need to get rid of the 96. So I'm going to divide this side by 96, divide the other side by 96. 8 over 96 reduces to 1 over 12. And my correct answer is A. We are now on to problem 18. Problem 18 asks me to, there we go, solve 5x plus 8 equals 18. Step 1, I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. When I subtract 8 from 18, I get 10. 5x equals 10. 5x equals 10. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Divide both sides by 5. X will equal 2. And my correct answer choice is A. 5x plus 8 this time equals 43. The steps are exactly the same though. I subtract 8 from both sides. 13 minus 8 is 5. I borrowed 1 from here, so I'm left with 3. 5x equals 35. To get rid of my 5, I divide by 5. Divide by 5. X will equal 7. And the correct answer choice is B. Moving down to 20. X divided by 2 minus 12 equals 24. First thing you want to do is get the variable by itself and get rid of that 12. In order to get rid of the negative 12, I add positive 12 to it. What I do to the left, I must also do to the right to keep my balance. So I'm adding 12 here. 4 plus 2 is 6. 2 plus 1 is 3. So now I'm left with x divided by 2 equals 36. So take a minute and think about how I'm going to get the x by itself again. I have to get rid of the 2 on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply this by its reciprocal, 2 over 1. If I do that to the left, I have to also do it to the right. 36 times 2 over 1. My 2's will cancel. X is going to be equal to 2 times 6 is 12, carry your 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. X is equal to 72. Answer choice D. We're all the way up to 21. This one is tricky, but it's really interesting. So first thing you want to do is notice that I could distribute this, but an easier solution would be actually to factor out the 8. We haven't worked too much on factoring, but it's not a difficult concept. I'm going to factor out an 8 from this. So I'm left with 8 x plus 5. Because as you can see, if I had distributed that, I would get this exact same thing. So hang on with me 1 second, and you'll see how much easier it makes this problem. 4 times 6x minus 10. In order to get rid of the 4 and the 8, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4. My 4's cancel. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So I'm left with 6x minus 10 equals 2 times x plus 5. Running out of real estate here. I am now going to distribute this, but I have a much smaller number to distribute. So I have 2x plus 10, 6x minus 10. I will subtract 2x from each side, subtract 2x. I'm left with 4x. I'm going to add 10 to both sides, add 10 to both sides. 4x equals 20. And we know in order to get rid of our 4 here, divide both sides by 4. 4x divided by 4 equals 20 divided by 4. X equals 5. This was a tough problem, but if you got through it, the correct answer was, I believe, D. On that one, it was the last. But the correct answer is 5. Moving on to problem 22. 3x plus 7 equals 2x. So here, now I have a variable on the left, and I also have a variable on the right. I want to get those two things together. And whenever possible, you probably want to keep your signs positive. So it seems strange, but I'm going to actually subtract 2x from this side. Subtract 2x from this side. So 2x minus 3x is simply x plus 7 equals 0. When I subtracted those away, I got a 0. Now I'm going to move my answer over here. So now I have x minus 7 on this side. I'm going to subtract 7 from this side, and I get x is equal to negative 7. That is my final answer here. For 23, I'm sorry. I just have 1x on this side, plus 10 equals 19. Real straightforward. Get rid of my 10, subtract it from both sides. 3x now equals 9. Divide both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 3. Don't panic when you see the decimals on the next side. It doesn't have anything to do with anything that's important. All you need to do is pull out your calendar, or you can do it yourself. So from both sides of the equation, you would like to subtract 10.36. 10.36 subtracted here. 10.36 subtracted there. And isn't that nice of them? That's going to cancel. My 3 6's just cancel out. 0, 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. 15. I have now n divided by 9 equals 15. In order to get rid of the 9 over here, I'm going to multiply 1/9 by 9 over 1. So 9 over 1 times n over 9. It's going to cancel, so I have 15 times 9 equals n. So 15 times 9, you can do a little scratch work here. 45, carry your 4. 9 times 1 is 3, 135. N equals 135. Moving on to number 25. Good news for 25 and 26. We are throwing them out. There is no actual answer choice which is accurate. So I'm going to drop these for right now. We'll come back to them when we do some more sophisticated things. But actually, just forget all about 25, 26. Everyone got credit for them. That leaves us with 27. Pretty straightforward, except I have variables on here, here, and here. So first thing I do is combine my like terms